after venturing into this great wide world of vlogging, making YouTube videos, I was thinking the other day, and it dawned on me. The Canon EOS M50 is a great camera for making videos, but there are some things you're going to need. Number one, you're going to have to invest in lenses. When I got the Canon EM50, it came with a kit lens, and I learned a lot from that thing, primarily based on its opening, which is its least measured opening, which is f3.5. And so what that means is that it's not good in low light situations. And I took this lens out thinking it was gonna perform like my camcorder does. I realized I bought the Canon EOS M50, and lo and behold, the work is not over. Now I have to buy lenses and just venture into this world of photography. If you want to be successful at doing this kind of thing, you're going to have to invest in lenses. Number two, after you've invested in those lenses, you're going to want to invest in a set of filters if you're going to be doing B-roll like I like to do, because the sensors is going to pick up so much light if you get the right kind of lens when you're outside that everything is going to be overexposed. As a rule anyway, it's probably best to have a set of filters for the lenses so that you can get the proper exposure in your videos and your photos. Number three, you're going to want to invest in lighting if you plan on doing vlogging. This is something that I learned with the kit lens. It doesn't perform well in low lighting, and most videos that do instructional work on making videos for YouTube, all of them have shots of them standing in front of these elaborate lights that you buy, you know, online nowadays, but you can get them in photo stores back when those things used to exist. And you know, they're on stands and they light up what's necessary for you to look presentable on camera. So you're going to have to invest in lighting. Number four, you're going to have to study the exposure triangle just for the sake of it. If you're not using a point and shoot and you've gone up a level into the realm of using a Canon EOS M50 and you're buying lenses, you're going to want to have knowledge about the exposure triangle. There are videos all over the YouTube website that explain the exposure triangle. Basically what it is a balance between what's known as the ISO, the aperture, and the shutter speed, and these three work in tandem. You're adjusting each one so that you can, you know, they're perpetually at odds with each other, it seems, but you want to adjust each one so that you can get the proper exposure for your videos and your photos. So you're going to want to study the exposure triangle. Number five, if you're shooting video, you're going to want to study frame rates. On the fundamental level, it's 24 frames per second versus 30 frames per second versus 60 frames per second. Then there's more after that. There's videos all over the place that discuss this topic. You don't really know about it until you get a camera like the EOS M50 and you're trying to get footage, and between, you know, frame rates and this lens that comes with the camera, that the kit lens that is, I learned that, you know, there's tricky business going on between frame rates and the lens and what it is that you're shooting, whether it's vlogging or B-roll. And so you're going to want to study this topic of frame rates, especially as it pertains to number 6, which is the video editing software. And the reason why I ended up learning about frame rates was when I went to load a 60 frames per second video with a video that had been shot in 24 frames per second. And what happened was those things did not agree with each other at all. So I tried to fix the problem by looking up different tutorials, and I found the answer that I needed. But guess what? The problem was that I hadn't paid enough for the right kind of video editing software to perform the function that I needed. And so in order for me to do this, I'm gonna have to pay more money. So in order to keep moving forward in my path as a filmmaker and a vlogger and a YouTuber, I will need to upgrade to a better software so that I can produce the type of films that I want to produce. So with that being said, there's probably another 6 things that I can think of, but we'll leave it at that, and we will see how this vlogging, YouTubing adventure goes from this point forward. So that's the way things are going today.